Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Traveling in Ireland broadcast. My few minutes to spend a wee bit of time with you talking about Ireland and giving you some travel tips for your vacation. Today, we are talking all about Temple Bar Tradfest, which takes place in Dublin in January. Today, I'm giving you 5 reasons why you should consider heading to Dublin in January for Temple Bar Tradfest. So, let's go ahead and dig in. The first reason, look at this picture. This is the Temple Bar in Temple Bar in the center of Dublin. Now, when you see this pub in pictures at St. Patrick's Day or really during any time from June until the end of August, there are people absolutely everywhere. And as you can tell by this picture, there aren't a lot of people. I took this photo actually in mid-afternoon last January. So the number one reason why you should visit Temple Bar Tradfest and Dublin in January is really because there aren't any crowds. If you go to Dublin at any time of the year, really between March and August, there are a lot of people. It's a popular place and you'll kind of be rubbing shoulders with everybody no matter where you go. The lines will be very long at some of the most popular sites. And when you visit in January, that just doesn't happen. It's a great time to visit, especially if you, like me, are not very fond of crowds. Now, the second reason is, well, it's not this bus. So this is the Vintage T-Tours bus. But the reason I have this picture up is because Dublin is so easy to get around without a car. If you're planning to visit Dublin, you just don't need to rent one. It's a nightmare to drive in the city, and it's very, very walkable. So if you visit Dublin in January, you're really going to be able to walk absolutely everywhere, no problem. Now, I don't blame you a bit if you hop aboard this bus and have a tea tour, which gives you a great overview of Dublin while you enjoy an afternoon tea. It's really one of the best ways to spend an afternoon in Dublin, especially when the weather might not be cooperating with you. So the second reason to visit Dublin in January for Temple Bar Tradfest is no car necessary. So that's one less expense for your trip. Now, the next reason, everything costs less. So your flights to Ireland are going to cost a lot less in January than they will at any other time of the year. It's a great time to go, especially if you're on a budget. But not only will your flights cost less, so will your hotel rooms. This was the room that I had last January at the Morgan Hotel, and it was phenomenal. It's located right in the heart of Dublin City, and I was able to walk to absolutely every Temple Bar Tradfest concert that I went to from this hotel. Absolute perfection, and because it just wasn't that busy, the prices were lower. Now, I will tell you that I did go back to this hotel in September, and I spent one night, and I have to show you why. Look at that bathtub. Can you imagine just crawling into that bathtub and relaxing? It's dreamy. I can't even explain it. It's absolutely an amazing experience. And if you visit Dublin in January, you will pay less for that amazing experience than you will at any other time of the year practically. So, reason number 3, it just costs less. Reason number 4, it's probably not as cold as you think in Dublin in January. Believe it or not, Ireland is a really temperate climate. It was around, I'd say 37 to 47 degrees Fahrenheit the entire time I was there in January, which was so much warmer than it was back at home. In fact, we had a really deep freeze when I was in Dublin, and there was a 100-degree difference between the temperatures at home and the temperatures in Dublin. So It just is not going to be as cold as you maybe think it will be, which is great if you're running into pubs for concerts because you don't have to wear a big, bulky, heavy coat. If you're just kind of zipping around Temple Bar, you can get by with a jacket or even just a sweater. So reason number 4, it's not as cold as you think it's going to be. And reason number 5 to visit Dublin in January for Temple Bar Trad Fest, it's all about the music. This is a picture from inside of Pepper Canister Church, one of the concerts I went to. The venues that they use for Temple Bar Trad Fest are outstanding. These are historic, beautiful venues. The churches, just the music, the sounds surround you and almost reverberates off the walls and pulls you really into it. And it's just an amazing experience. And of course, you have the pubs. Temple Bar is filled with pubs. All of the pubs are filled with music. They are standing room only. Just the feeling of them, it just heightens your senses, and you're standing kind of shoulder to shoulder with people, and you're drinking a pint and you're enjoying the music, and the crack is just flowing. It's an amazing experience. It's really kind of hard to put into words the energy that you feel in a pub in Temple Bar when it is just packed with people who are all excited about the music. So really the reason you go to Dublin in January for Temple Bar Trad Fest is all about the music. But everything else is just icing on the cake, right? So those are the 5 reasons that I think you should be considering a trip to Dublin in January for Temple Bar Trad Fest. Number 1, it's less crowded. Number 2, no car required. Number 3, everything is going to just cost you less, from airfare to accommodations. Number 4, it's not as cold as you probably think it's going to be. And number 5, it's music. So if you like trad music and you've been dreaming about a trip to Ireland, do consider visiting in January for Temple Bar Trad Fest. If you have any questions at all, go ahead and leave a comment right down there, and I will respond. I always answer comments and questions. And until next time, slán go fóill.